This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, the 15th day of April in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. The Ministry of Health has announced this evening that from tomorrow, Friday, it will be offering the COVID-19 vaccine to everyone 18 years and older. The move comes as the country is seeing a spike in new cases, and it is becoming worrying to the government and the health ministry. Guyana recorded 153 new cases of coronavirus in the past 24 hours. It's the highest single-day increase in new cases since the virus was first detected in the country 1 year ago. But the health minister has revealed that more persons are getting vaccinated, and that's good news. The Health Minister, Dr. Frank Anthony, today said more than 70,000 persons have received their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccines in the country. Many of those who took the first shot of the Sinopharm vaccine are due for their second dose. He also welcomed the increase in the number of vaccinated persons. He said the ministry is on track with its plan to get more Guyanese vaccinated.
Our vaccine uptake has been quite good. As of yesterday, we had more than 70,000 persons who've already received their first shot. And those who took the Sinopharm vaccine, many of them are now becoming due for their second shot. So once they have their second dose, they will become fully immunized. So I think so far we have made good progress. We have teams in every region in Guyana that is working on the vaccination program and going out to different communities and immunizing people.
Next week, more than 80,000 doses of the Sputnik vaccine is expected to arrive in the country. The Russian-made vaccine has an efficacy rate of 92%. Meanwhile, with 153 new cases of the virus recorded in just the past 24 hours, the Minister of Health continues to encourage citizens to follow the COVID-19 guidelines. The village of Ashalton in Region 9 has started a 1-month lockdown measure after it recorded new cases. The Health Minister has explained that the ministry continues to monitor the active cases across the country.
As you know, we have seen many cases in different areas. And our approach has been slightly different because once we are able to identify those persons who are positive and quarantine them or isolate them from the rest of the population for at least a minimum of 10 days.
Guyana has seen an increase in the rate of COVID-19 deaths and cases in the past month. A total of 30 deaths have been recorded since the start of this month of April. More news coming up in a moment.
Guyana, we've been through it all.
But as a people we have
weathered every storm
and risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
all the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
We are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
At Sash Financial, we create strategies for strengthening business and personal finances while helping our clients to build sustainable wealth. Our financial and business consultancy services are uniquely tailored to ensure every client receives quality packages and optimal results. Our financial services include financial reporting and analysis, financial status assessment, internal audits, bookkeeping and records management, financial planning advice, tax returns. Our business advisory services are related to business plans, business startups, operational improvement, business management, document preparation, procedures development, efficient marketing. Call or WhatsApp us today for your free consultation on telephone number 592-665-6045. Sash Financial, strengthening businesses, building wealth.
It's trendy to share your vacation plans, photos, and location on social media. But do you know who is seeing your posts? Sharing that you're on vacation or a business can signal to potential burglars that your home is empty. Using location services can also allow people to track your whereabouts, making you an easy target for theft. Be aware of what information you share about your location and your possessions. Remember, what goes online stays online. Stop oversharing and get safe online.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL?
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
The Alliance for Change, which is part of the APNU-AFC coalition, today said it is deeply concerned about the rising cases of COVID-19 in the country. During a press conference, party leader Kemraj Ramjatan said enough is not being done to tackle the virus and its evolving strain. Guyana has recorded 153 new coronavirus cases in the past 24 hours, and the death toll has now reached 263, with 30 of those deaths recorded in the past 15 days alone. A new strain of the virus has not yet been confirmed in Guyana, but Director of the Pan American Health Organization, Dr. Carissa Etienne, said on Wednesday that the new spike in cases in Guyana could be from a new variant of the disease. The Alliance for Change said while it sympathizes with Brazil, which has been hardest hit by the virus, Guyanese must take every precaution to guard against such an outbreak. The AFC has issued a call for the sealing off and robust monitoring of the borders that is not limited to the official points of entry, monitoring the road arteries connecting the hinterland with Linden and the coastland, and the party also wants every measure taken to protect the citizens of Guyana. The AFC leader, Mr. Ramjatan, also urged citizens to play their part and treat the virus with the seriousness it requires, pointing out that citizens must follow all guidelines that are put in place to bring the virus under control. The party said it supports all sensible measures by the government to stop the virus, including a supplementary budget provision. It also wants the Guyana Police Force to step up the enforcement of the guidelines, including the inspection of public transportation to ensure all passengers are wearing face masks properly, stopping persons on the street who do not have a mask, and after curfew patrols of bars and nightclubs and restaurants. The Guyana government has registered its displeasure over ExxonMobil's inability to resolve the issue regarding its gas compressor. Earlier this week, the company announced that another problem has developed with the compressor, forcing it to reduce daily production by 90,000 barrels. In a statement last evening, the Natural Resources Ministry said the government of Guyana, as would be expected, is highly disappointed with the operator's inability to resolve the situation to date and will continue to monitor the levels of daily crude oil output and flaring to best allow for an economically feasible level of production during the period. The government also hinted at taking action against the company should the issue pose a threat to the revenue Guyana receives from the oil lift. The statement indicated that the crude oil lift has not been affected, noting that an oil lift was successfully completed on Tuesday, in keeping with the crude oil lifting agreement. The government is receiving regular updates on the issue as the company contemplates its next move. ExxonMobil recently conducted the final testing phase of the reinstalled compressor on the Liza Destiny oil production vessel. An additional problem was encountered with the gas compressor just after it was installed. The company has expressed its disappointment by the design issues and continued on the performance of the compressor. Let's tell you now that the minibus driver who was caught on camera hitting a phone from a passenger and demanding she leaves his bus after she complained about the loud music has been slapped with 4 charges and will be facing 2 others. 28-year-old bus driver Josh Henry of Sioux Lake appeared in court and was charged with making loud and continuous noise, improper conduct of a driver, failure to carry a conductor, and breach of condition of road service license. He pleaded not guilty to the 4 charges and was released on $30,000 bail. The police force has indicated that he will face 2 additional charges of damage to property and assault. Harry is expected back in court on the 19th of April. In a video posted on Facebook, a female passenger of the minibus could be heard pleading with the driver to lower the profanity-laced music that was playing in his bus. The man refused to lower the music and instead pulled to the side of the roadway, where he asked the complaining passenger to leave the bus. When the woman refused as he continued to video record their confrontation, he slapped the phone from her hands. He was confronted by some of the other passengers in the bus and the police report was filed. He was arrested a day after the incident went viral on Facebook. A 46-year-old unemployed Londoner who was charged for a second time today for breaching the national curfew will be spending the next month behind bars after entering a guilty plea. The man, Paul Marciano, known as Paulo, was charged in breach of the curfew restrictions. He was found out in public during the curfew hours. Marciano appeared virtually before Magistrate Wanda Fortune and entered a guilty plea to the charge. With that guilty plea, the magistrate sentenced him to 1 month in jail. In keeping with the prison's own COVID-19 measures, the Londoner will find himself in quarantine inside the prison for at least 7 days before being allowed to serve the rest of his 1-month sentence with the regular prison population.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95, tune up. Fuel it up and drive, super 95, tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive!
More employers are using social media to monitor employees. Here are some ways to maintain professionalism online. Never share confidential information about anyone, whether colleagues or clients. Do not share inappropriate posts from work gatherings. Keep company social media posts neutral. Never argue or make offensive comments. Never complain about your job to clients. Remember, what goes online stays online. Stop oversharing and get safe online.
Across the region right now, the government of Trinidad and Tobago has re-implemented COVID-19 restrictions in a bid to curtail the current upward trajectory of cases. For the next 21 days, beaches are closed to the public except those affiliated with leatherback turtle conservation activities. In-house dining is prohibited in restaurants, cinemas, casinos, and bars, and the number of people allowed to gather in public was brought down to no more than 5. It's the second time for the year that the government of Trinidad has had to re-implement restrictions in an attempt to bring the spread under control. As of the 1st of April, the Ministry of Health reinstated a ban on contact sports. It was the first measure to be re-implemented since the second lockdown period was enforced on the 17th of August last year. When numbers first started to rise earlier in March, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley warned that another lockdown period would be imposed if those numbers continued to rise. However, he noted that unlike previously done, the government would not be able to afford to provide financial assistance to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. The Caribbean Examinations Council (CXC) says it has implemented several measures to offer relief to students amid the displacement arising from the ongoing pandemic and now the impact of the eruption of the volcano in St. Vincent. In a statement, CXC said it is cognizant of the many challenges across the region and stands ready to listen and to engage in dialogue with critical stakeholders across the education landscape. The Caribbean Union of Teachers has raised concerns about the exams and has accused CXC of operating in a business-as-usual manner. Among other things, the CUT has called for adjustments to the CXC syllabus and wants teachers and students to be informed of the topics for the examinations in a timely manner. It has also criticized the regional examination body for the deferral arrangement being offered to students, but CXC stated that it has been responding to the current situation. Among other things, it indicated that it has reduced the SBA requirements by as much as 50% in some subjects, noting that this information is outlined in the SBA Student Handbook, which was published and posted on the CXC website and shared via social media in November last year and in February. And finally tonight, international news. Africa's top health official said Thursday he wants to believe that India will lift export restrictions on COVID-19 vaccines as soon as possible, warning that India is not an island while some African nations still have seen no shots at all. The director of the African Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, John Ensong, spoke as the African continent of 1.3 billion people doesn't know when the second doses of key vaccines will arrive, and India sees a devastating resurgence in infections. India is a major vaccine producer and the key supplier to the World Health Organization-backed COVAX initiative, aiming to bring shots to some of the world's poorest countries. The official said the uncertainty around the arrival of second doses puts the African continent in a very dicey situation. Some countries have already exhausted their initial vaccine doses, including Ghana and Rwanda. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.